friends, I just got finished mixing up a batch of a new tea. I'm not sure how it tastes yet. I haven't tasted it, but I'm going to taste it tonight, hopefully, or in the morning. But I just want to talk a little bit about the process of making an herbal tea because sometimes, I'll tell people, yeah, I make my own teas, or, I'm going to go make some tea for this and that. And I guess it seems like, I don't know, like a big deal to some people. But I just wanted to let you know that it's not really hard at all. Well, the actual mixing up, of course, is super easy. Like you just usually do it in parts, and I use a measuring cup, just a 1 cup measuring cup as my part. So if I say I'm going to put 2 parts of nettle and 1 part of red raspberry leaf, that just means 2 cups, 1 cup, but you can make it as small a batch as you want or as large a batch. You can use a 1/4 cup as a part. You could use a tablespoon as a part. And oftentimes when you look up tea recipes, it might be parts, but it's just really simple like that. So, really, the hardest part about making an herbal tea is picking your herbs. And you could start really simple by just making a single herb tea, like peppermint tea or red raspberry leaf tea. And then you could blend 2 herbs together. So you could actually blend red raspberry leaf and peppermint, which are really safe to blend together. Red raspberry leaf is very nutritional, high in iron, high in tons of vitamins and minerals. And then peppermint is a great flavor, and it actually helps to help your liver work better. Um, so even really simple, like everyday things like peppermint can be really, really helpful, more than you would realize. So really the hardest part is just doing your research to figure out which herbs you want to put together, and then you got to taste it. So once you mix it, you might want to do small parts to begin with, and then you boil your water, you steep your tea for about 10 minutes, and then you taste it and see if you like it or not, and see if you need to make adjustments. I do a lot by smell, so I'll kind of mix it. I'll mix it together, and then I'll take a little and I'll just smell it and see if it smells good to me. And and I usually just kind of go on an inspiration, like, or if we have a need, like for right now, I need to make a liver detox tea for my son Philip, and probably all of us are going to drink it. It's always great to detox your liver and to just keep that working really well because your liver is so important to your overall health. So this tea has, I just kind of jotted down what I was putting in. Don't take this recipe as like an amazing recipe because I haven't tasted it yet. But it has 2 parts nettle, 3 parts red raspberry leaf, 1 part dandelion leaf, half part blessed thistle, 2 parts peppermint, and 1 part stevia leaf. So the stevia leaf just adds a little bit of sweetness. This way we don't necessarily have to add honey, or at least not as much honey, which is kind of nice because honey's really expensive, and it does kind of raise your blood sugar a little bit more. Stevia tends to just keep it, not raise your blood sugar, basically, which is good with my kids. um, Peppermint, blessed thistle, and dandelion leaf all serve to help your liver detox and create bile and do what it needs to do to cleanse your blood. Peppermint also serves as the flavor for the tea. And then red raspberry leaf and nettle are my go-to like base herbs that I put in almost every single tea I make because they are just both packed full of vitamins and minerals, and like you can't go wrong. And you really want to kind of have some sort of base to a tea in general. At least I love to have a base, a plant that's very nutritious and that will serve as just kind of this undertone. Like red raspberry actually offers a very earthy undertone, and nettle is more of a lighter green flavor. That sounds kind of funny, but yeah, I would call it a green flavor. Dandelion leaf and blessed thistle are both bitter herbs, so they are actually going to be giving a bitter undertone to this, which we need bitter herbs in our lives to help our livers. And it's hard for us as Americans sometimes to eat bitter things because we're not used to it. We're used to a lot of sugar. We're used to a lot of, bread and even meat and stuff like that, but we're not used to bitter foods in our diet. But we need to introduce bitter foods more. But a way that I kind of ease them into our diet is through herbal teas. And yes, I added a lot of peppermint and kind of a lot of stevia just to keep it from being like overwhelmingly bitter. But basically, that's how you can mix a tea. That's an example of one herbal tea that I like to make. Um, I have several different recipes that are kind of my go-tos, but honestly, I just love making up new tea recipes. So if you ever want to learn more about it, let me know. It's always fun to get together with people and do this. Um, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I would try to answer. I'm no expert, but I've just over the past 10 years kind of listened to a lot of podcasts, read a lot of articles, read a lot of blog posts, done a lot of experimenting, done a lot of growing herbs. So I don't know. It's kind of a passion of mine.